Same corner, same time. It's a Stadium Miguel pop-up show with all-time leading rusher, 99 Heisman Trophy winner, 11th overall pick by the New York Giants. Legend, Ron Dayne. How you doing, my dude?
Good, man. Good. Can't complain. I'm glad to be
Hey,
here.
hey, Ron, I'm going
Ron,
to brag on you a
go
little
ahead.
bit. Hold on one second, Nick. He won the Heisman Trophy, Maxwell Award, Walter Camp Award,
Mm,
Schick Harley Award, Doak Walker Award, Jim Brown Award, AP College Football Player of the Year, SN Player of the Year, Chicago Tribune, Silver Football, and Consensus All-American, Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, Rose Bowl MVP, all in 1999.
trophies.
Trophies. I got a
Trophies.
trophy.
Ron,
I got a trophy room.
Ron, I
Yeah.
did a little quick calculation. Your rushing yards, you ran for 3.6 miles worth of yards with men chasing you when you had a football in college.
And it's so funny now that when I'm walking around, when I walk and I'm with my kids or something, they're like, "Dad, you walk so slow." I was like, "That's because I ran for a living. I ran for
Yeah, I've earned this pace.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you know it.
Now we brought you on former Wisconsin Badger, so we brought you on to talk a little Graham Mertz. It's a bye week for us. Graham Mertz is heating up on our end. There was a lot of articles, a lot of takes when we took him in the transfer portal from Wisconsin. So we want to talk a little bit about him, his Wisconsin days, and what you think about him. But before that, let's talk a little bit about your playing days, man. What was it like? You're from New Jersey, so what was Pop Warner football like? What was that like growing up as a kid?
Well, I moved to Jersey from Virginia when I was like 3. Well, no, 7, like 7, 8, and I played football in Virginia. You know, because they went by your age. So when I moved to Jersey, they went by weight. So by the time I was like 9, 10, I couldn't even play with 13, 14-year-olds because the weight limit was 135. I was already like 175. So
At what
I couldn't
age?
play. Around like 10 or 11, I was like,
Good Lord,
yeah,
I graduated
175.
that weight, bro.
Yeah,
That's
and I could,
crazy.
and I was faster than everybody on the team. I would come practice and play, but I couldn't play in the games because I was too big. So I played soccer for all the little league till I got to high school.
Mm.
For 3 or 4 years.
And so when did you get your first start? Was it middle school football when you kind of start getting it going?
My freshman year.
Man,
Hmm.
That's just because the weight limitations. Like I remember, like
Yeah,
I think I was like 120, and I would have had to like play up. The first year
yeah,
of football. My dad's like, "Listen, you're not playing against 12-year-olds. You're 10.
yeah,
Like we're
yeah,
just not playing tackle football." But
yep,
you were bigger than that, so they were like,
yeah,
"Listen, you got to wait until you get to high school, and
yep,
we'll put you on the varsity, and you can play against some 18-year-olds."
yeah, yeah. But even when I was when I played freshman ball, I was the best back we had at the school. But we couldn't go. You couldn't play senior. You couldn't play senior football, varsity football
Mm.
mm.
as a
Yeah,
freshman.
yeah. They just do age groups now. I wish I got a smaller son, so I wish they would do weight limits at this point, bro. We got some big monsters on our team or in our league, bro.
That's how my son is now. He's like 13, but he's short, he's small, and he made the weight limit. He was way less than the weight limit. But everybody they be playing against, all the guys are like my height on the other side. And they put him in that running back. I'd be like, coach, you trying to get my son hurt. Please just take him out. Let him get a little bigger first. Nah, he's
Yeah.
your son. Nah, he can't run people over, buddy. Like, he's little.
Yeah.
So when
That
did you
that little league coach is like, "Listen, I'm not gonna not play Ron Dayne's son at running back."
Yep. Every time he see me, he throw my son right in. I'm right.
yeah.
Come out limping. He come out limping like he hurt. Like, come on, man, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just got hit by one of the big boys, you know.
Yeah. That's hilarious, man. Like Ron Dayne's here, put his son in. He got to have the natural abilities and get us this win. So you started playing football in 9th grade. When did you start, catching the attention of the local neighborhood, the newspapers, the writers? When did you start getting everybody's attention?
I would say probably like my freshman year. I had like 27 touchdowns or something like that. 27 touchdowns as a freshman. But I still couldn't move up. I had a lot of yards too. I had one game where I carried the ball. I had 6 carries, 6 touchdowns, and I was done for the game. So they knew I was pretty good.
That's a fireable offense, Ron. That coach has got to go.
Yeah, I couldn't play varsity until I was a sophomore.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Go
were you
ahead, man.
just as dominant when you moved up to varsity? I would imagine
Oh, yeah.
so. But talk to me about that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
By that
Stupid
time,
question, Dan.
by that time, I was about because I got to college, I was like 280, 285, 286. So I played probably like 270 and when I was in high school. But the thing was, when I got to college, I was 286 and I ran a 4.5, you know, so that kept me at running back.
Yeah, I would imagine. Did
They
you
were
play
looking
both
at
sides
you.
of the
They
ball?
probably, they were probably thinking like, "Hey, this is a lineman, and we got to get him on some kind of diet plan." And then you hit that stopwatch, and they were like, "You know what?
Yep.
I think running back works."
Oh yeah, definitely.
Were
Who
you
was your
doing
first?
like kick and punt returns at 2-4 or 265 too?
Yep. Coach
Oh,
always told
wow.
me, always did kickoff return. I would come out with the group and catch the ball and get warmed up just in case they would need me or something. Because I would do it. They never
Bro,
needed me.
so Florida, they had like an up kick last week at South Carolina, and Florida's got a defensive lineman, Tyreek Sapp, who weighs 270.
Okay.
And he was a problem. He returned it. Some little cornerback came and hit him, and he kind of like stopped, but didn't go down, and then just kept moving. Now you've got Ron Dayne, who weighs 15 pounds more than Tyreek Sapp, same mean streak, but running probably a full second faster than him in the 40, returning punts and kicks.
Mm-hmm. And the sad thing about it was like, I guess no matter what weight I was, I still ran a 4.5. I ran a 4.49, and then I ran a 4.51. So that got me that made me a 4.5 even, and that's when I was going into the pros. So, when I got to college, I ran a 4.5, and then when I was leaving college, I ran a 4.5. So.
I'm curious because I know in the draft process, a lot of people were talking about your weight. You got drafted the year I was going into like college, so I remember like vividly. A lot of the knocks against you was your weight.
Yeah.
Were any of the coaches in high school trying to encourage you to lose weight?
No. Nobody said nothing. I was the biggest dude on my team in high school, without a doubt. I had probably one or two other linemen that never really played that was bigger than me, but besides that, I was probably the biggest dude on the team in weight size, and I was probably the fastest on the team.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Ron, so you're obviously a prolific running back in high school, probably getting looked at by teams all over the country. How'd you ultimately decide on Wisconsin?
At first, when I was in high school, I thought once you became a senior and you graduate, you got an opportunity to go to the pros. So I got smacked in the face like my sophomore year, like, oh, you got to go to college. I'm like, college? Like, I never watched college football growing up or nothing. The superstars. And I grew up, like, my favorite running back was John Riggins. So, from the Redskins, not the Redskins, the Commanders now. But he was my favorite running back. I didn't know about colleges. And then we had Wisconsin come down to our school because we had 3 guys that came out to Wisconsin that went to our sister high school. So Lee DeRamus, Mike London, and I think Michael Jackson, they all was from Jersey, and they came to Wisconsin, and they would come to the school, and then coach came to recruited me, and I was big. So all different schools, like Miami wanted me to play linebacker, Notre Dame wanted me to play nose guard. I was an All-American fullback, so a lot of people wanted me to play fullback, and I never played fullback because I was the running back. It was just because of my size. So my question was, when Coach Albee came to visit, was, hey, you gonna let me run the ball? And he was like, I'll give you the ball as much as you can carry it. That was it. So I was like,
he wasn't lying.
Yeah, he gave it to me. I averaged 35 carries a game in college.
Yeah. Now is that listen? That's fun, and probably at the time, like your body heals up from that.
Oh yeah.
But like, what is that like? Like you're going into the game plan, and the game plan just says Ron on it for every week.
Yeah. Well, it was fun for us because we didn't change our plays. We didn't have nothing extra or nothing different that we did. We came out every week with the same stuff and was like, hey, if you could stop it. If not, then we're going to keep running it. So some of the times you see me on the sideline or in the game, and I tell them, Coach, come on, bring that play right back one more time, coach. I'm gonna score on that one. Bring that one more time, coach. You know, so it'd be sometimes we'll run the same play like 4 times in a row, 5 times in a row. So
that's like Remember the Titans, Coach Herman Boone. He's like, listen, we run the veer. I've got 3 plays.
Ron, did you ever see the fear in like defensive backs' eyes or linebackers' eyes when you're playing?
Yeah, you can see it when you get up on them. It's like they shocked or they get stunned, and it's like, should I run you over or run past you? Depending on which way I want to go, if I got to run you over, then I run you over. But they kind of put themselves in it because they'll get stuck in the position like, oh, I should have. I'm like, yep, sorry, buddy, boop, run you over.
Too late.
So yeah, it's too late. Once I see your eyes and you look at me like you scared, I got buddy.
Was there any linebacker you faced that was with the shenanigans?
Nah, but and you mean the college or the pros?
Either one.
Well, I know who talked the most ever was Ray Lewis. He talked you the whole game. Talked to you the whole game. I'm like, shh. And that's when I was barely getting in because Tiki was getting in, but Tiki was trying to come out the game a lot, and I'm like, all right, I'll go in and go against Ray. We was about the same size. I was 250. He was like 250, but he was like 6'2". But I was like, I'm ready to play against Ray. Like, he didn't scare me, but he had fear in a lot of our running backs on my teams.
Ron, what was touch me a little bit about your time in college? What were some of the most memorable, experiences you had, and what was that like? Thinking that you can go to the pros and then you end up at Wisconsin, and what were those 4 years like?
Oh man, it was great. I had so much fun, and I even I got to play a lot more than I did in the NFL, and I played in the NFL for 8 years, and I still got to run the ball more than I did in college. So me having the control and being able to run the team, and I'm getting the ball, and it's it's only times I come out if I'm hurt or tired, but that didn't happen in the pros. It was just like you might have one good game, next game you don't dress. So I'm like, we just won because I was doing my thing, but next game dress. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I had a lot more fun in college than I did in the pros. The only thing I really miss about the pros is the money, but nowadays in college they don't even worry about the money no more because you get it. So it's totally different than when we were coming up going and trying to get to the league and things like that.
What was it like? Just being? I mean, you came out the gate and ran for 1,800 yards as a freshman, so like people knew you in Madison. What was it like being you?
Well, it was
on campus.
Well, it was tough. We had a 1,000-yard rusher already in front of us, in front of me. I was the 5th string running back, so I didn't get to start until like 5th game of the season, and then I still ended up getting 1,800. But I think I could have been. Well, I had 2,000 my rookie year. My freshman year, I had 2,000 yards my freshman year. But I think I could have probably had about 2,600 if I'd have started the rest. Because you got to think the beginning of the season, we played against teams that we paid to come play.
Yeah.
Hey,
right.
We don't even have to practice with offense or defense they run. Like, they ain't got no pros on there. They ain't gonna stop none of us. So we would just practice a normal defense, maybe get the normal basic defense that they run and practice that all week. It wouldn't be no special plays or we got to watch out for him. We're going to double team him. Nah, we just coming straight out to get you. So even Carl probably had before I started starting, he probably had 500-600 yards already as a starter. And I didn't get to start till 5th, 6th game.
When you get out there to Wisconsin, was there any culture shocks? I know they love football out there, but you coming from New Jersey. What?
Yeah, it was a big culture shock. We only time we really played had on my team we probably had majority white kids on our team, but our high school was majority black though. So I could say it's a half and half. So coming out, always seen and everybody was same as me, and coming out here where everybody's not, and it's like, what? Why is he being so nice? Because everybody was so nice, and it was white, and coming to Wisconsin they're so nice, they must gonna do something to us.
It's a trick.
Couldn't go back to Jersey. It's like, what? You got old ladies giving you the finger for going so. on the speed,
Yeah.
5 miles over it, and she's riding by you, still giving you the finger. So it was a big shock because it was so like relaxed and laid back and nice. Like you wasn't worried about getting robbed or getting beat up. You didn't have to worry about somebody breaking into your crib or your room. Most of the time, we left our room door unlocked. You know, when we was there, like you could walk down the hallway and just walk into somebody's room. Like you ain't had to worry about nobody doing anything crazy. So yeah, that was different. You know,
I have a partner that went to school out there. My dog Grimes, he played defensive tackle out there. We give him a hard time about going out there. What's Wondo's like? He told me to ask you about Wondo's and the vibes.
that's the spot. Everybody that's still here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still here. So they usually have like the like he probably one of the D linemen or one of his crews worked the door. So everybody got in for free, drank for free, you know. Just when we had the football players in there, we brought more people. So we would get the drink and stuff for free. So that made his bar so successful, and he's still doing it to this day. There's still probably 2 or 3 football players that guard his door, bounce upstairs, you know. So, and that's been going on since 96, 97.
That's more what I was getting at, Ron. Like you, as a freshman, you became a name that people knew. What was it like walking around? Not what was it like on the football field. What was it like walking around campus, walking around the city?
Well, it was like after a while, I kind of couldn't go to like classes or because I would be late because people would be lined up outside the class for me to sign stuff and want to take pictures. And, oh, it's my dad's birthday or my mom is dying or my uncle really loves you. He got you, you know. So it's like, all right, well, by the time I get done, I'm late for class. Now I'm getting in trouble, you know, at football practice. Like, yo, you got to run. Like, what? For what? Like, I was late because I'm late, you know, like, or after a while they had to start like guards, or I would just not go to class and I would do, you know, meet with a tutor and do my classwork with a tutor. You know,
They gave you a guard. You were probably bigger than the guard they gave you.
Nah.
Okay.
Not in Wisconsin, baby.
Nah.
Yeah.
not in Wisconsin.
Like corn-fed kids, Nick.
Yeah, some corn-fed farmer boy. Yeah. Hey, go take Ron to
beef
class
fed
and make sure
beef
people
out
stay
there.
away from him.
Yeah.
You
It's different out there.
He ain't even got to say nothing. You like, oh yeah, no problem. Yes, but yeah,
Ron,
even going out, it was kind of tough because every time I would go out, I'm talking about I'm getting stopped right at the beginning of my coming. Take a shot. Shot. It's my birthday. It's my mom's birthday. Look, my mom's right with me. I can't take shots. I can't. I'm like, I'm so sorry. So now to this day, I still can't even take shots. I'm like, if somebody get a shot out, I'm like, if I take a shot, it got to be something like a girly shot, like
Yeah.
fuzzy navel or something. You know,
That's
Fuzzy
Nick's
navel.
philosophy too.
give me a little.
Yeah, Nick likes buttery nipples.
Something like that. Apple pie. That's a little rough, but I like apples. So
Washington apples, my girly shot.
yeah, there
They
you go.
called Ron. What did they call you, Ron? They called you like the Dane train, the Great Dane.
Great Dane.
They used to say,
Tomorrow it might be Ron Fuzzy Navel Dane. After people see this show.
but everybody didn't know that I don't really take shots. So if people just ask, and I'd be like, nah, well, give me a girly shot, and I just, you know, that's the only way I'll take a shot with them. No, let's do tequila. Nope, buddy, I'm sorry, can't. Tequila, any of the crazy stuff. I'm like, I could sit there with the shot all night. Like, okay.
Yeah.
When did you find out there was going to be a Heisman campaign for Ron Dayne in Wisconsin? Like, what was that process like?
I didn't find out till like my senior year, so we just started going through it. He was our media guy, and it was like me and him. We just started going and doing different stuff. And I'm like, well, I didn't do this last year, so why I got to travel here? Why? And then I kind of figured it out, and because we didn't campaign, I was there for 4 years. And my freshman year, I could have won it. I had more yards than all the running backs that were up for the Heisman that year, and I ain't even get put up my freshman year. You got to think
politics.
Yeah, it was a bunch. I mean, like I wasn't even probably in the top 10, but I had more rushing yards than everybody, all the running backs that were in the Heisman that year. Yeah.
So you won. What was that experience like for you getting to travel, and then obviously everything since then, right? I mean, I know you guys get together obviously once a year if you want to go, and I know they do the Heisman House thing and all that other stuff. But what's it like being a Heisman Trophy winner?
Well, it's fun, man. It's definitely fun. Be able to get to go back and see the guys and see some of the older guys. A lot of guys don't come back unless it's somebody from their school or things like that. So like if say running backs, it's running backs up, you'll see majority of the running backs coming back to support the running backs. Like if it's all 5 quarterbacks, you're like, do I really want to go this year? Like, so it depends on the situations and things like that. But like traveling, I got used to traveling like my senior year because of the fact that you named all them awards. I had to go to all those awards, banquets and stuff before I won the Heisman. So so it was like, oh, go to Texas, oh, come to Florida, oh, go to somewhere else, go to California, and I'm getting all these awards, and it's like, oh, travel. So I had to keep a tutor. I had a tutor with me and stuff like that. So I kind of was used to traveling, and when I got out there and won the Heisman, probably one of the biggest things was just went in and have my grandpa. My grandpa was out there, and then the middle of the night, during the night, Jay-Z came through and picked me up.
That's crazy.
That was dope. Like, that was super dope. So I got to hang with him for a couple hours, and that was dope.
Would you take the hanging out with him or $100,000?
I'd have took $100,000.
Yeah.
Back then, you gotta think back then I would have took it, but now I'm like, yeah, I'd like to chill with Jay-Z rather than 100. Like back then I was just coming right out of college. I'm like, what, 100,000 or meet Jay-Z? Give me that 100,000. I'm good. I can see Jay-Z another time. He live in New York too.
I buy concert tickets and backstage pass.
And we had with the Giants, we had stuff like that because they did all the like the concerts in the stadium. So
right.
50 Cent, Mary, Puffy, all the dudes, Jay-Z, Nas, Busta Rhymes, DMX, it's like Powerhouse. It's called Powerhouse, I think.
Yeah. That's the concert. Yeah. Or Hot 97 or Powerhouse, either one.
Yeah, they both. So, and this would be in the stadium. So, like the first year, 50 Cent was hot. So he came walking through like the tunnels, and we was getting ready to leave. He got like 10 people around him. I'm like, who is that? Because you see him from a distance, and then he get up, and I'm like, okay, what's up, 50? So like, I was seeing all the guys walk around. I got to go up and hang out in the suite with Jay-Z and Puff and a couple the Rock Nation guys that he had with him, and a couple of Puff's artists too. So this all at the stadium. So we could walk right around there in the back. All the back ways and cut throughs and all that. So I don't know about the new stadium, but the old one. It
had to be dope playing football in New York City. I know it's a big media town. There's a lot of pressure. We're going to get into some Graham Mertz talk in a second. But what was it like playing in New York overall?
It was crazy, man. That's probably one of the craziest spots that I played at because of the fact that we could be winning and we get booed going off the field. At halftime, like, what? We winning right now by 14. Like, hold up, why we getting booed? Like, woo, y'all took. So that was probably one of the craziest places I played at and played there for so long. Probably one of the best ones was probably Denver.
Mm-hmm.
It was Denver for me because it was a lot of fun. It put the like college atmosphere back into the game. Where even if they're losing, they cheering. You never hear no booing in Denver. And then I went to the Texans 2 years. That was pretty dope too. Just because I didn't like the weather. That's the only place I ever been to where your car sweats. Yeah. You come out in the morning, your windows are sweating like somebody's in there asleep or something. You're like, what? My car been on all night? Right? Yeah, that's
crazy.
Yeah.
That's like here in Florida. You've got like the shirt that you wear just to get to the car to turn the AC on in the summer. And then you got to change it because you've sweat through your shirt just walking from the driveway or from the garage to the car.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
Gotta have that big man towel at all times.
Maybe two, because you're gonna soak one up.
Yeah, backup towel is definitely needed, man.
You know it.
You dry your hands like the quarterback before you get snapped. You dry your hands before you get plates and shit like that.
You get plates
before you shake somebody's hand. Like, okay, let me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Ron, want to talk, I guess, a little bit about Graham Mertz here as well. Obviously, you've been around the Wisconsin program for a while. Before we do that, if you're listening, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that kind of fun stuff. Ron, why don't you talk a little bit about kind of your role now with Wisconsin, and let's talk a little Graham Mertz.
Oh, yeah, my role now, I'm kind of an ambassador to, once they get the kids they want and when the family's here, I can kind of get to talk to the families. The only thing I can't do is give them money. I can say, hey, I don't know what they say they're going to pay you, but we love to have you here as an athlete. Good schooling, great academics, buddy, but
yeah,
I don't know about the money for you. What the coach say, like, hey, I'm out of that one. Then the parents was like, what? The money? How much should we supposed to get? Let me go get coach or get somebody else. Sorry. I'm glad to meet y'all. Have a good day.
That's a great job, man. To get to leave when the money conversation gets started. That's the ideal situation right there.
Yeah, because I can't do nothing about it. I'm like, well, just give them an extra 5,000. What? What you talking about? Give them extra 10,000 if you don't give it to me. Nah, So like, I don't know. So I definitely don't get into the money stuff with the NIL now, and I think it's going to tear a lot of teams apart, though, down the road because of the fact that it's the only one making money on the team, and he taking out the whole offense every week, and the defense ain't doing nothing. So what do you think they're going to feel on the other side? Like, hey, buddy, someone don't hit the quarterback at practice. That might happen a little more often than usual if, situations like that start happening, where only the offensive players getting paid. Maybe one defensive player get paid. It's a little different. So
yeah,
I like to get into it because I can't talk about too many people's money, and how they disperse it and what they get. And I wonder how you go through getting the money, like, oh, he's a $10,000 athlete or he's a $30,000 athlete. So I don't know, so that's why I don't get into that. But yeah, you had mentioned about Mertz, and he was here with us, and he was a good quarterback when we had him, but we ran the ball most of the time because we didn't throw it. So you couldn't really see we could see, when he had practice or in scrimmages or things like that, because the only times we really had to throw it is when we got in trouble, and then they just back up and he might throw a pick and he might do something. So I thought he was a real decent quarterback. And you can see it now. He's comfortable. He has having fun. It's an offense he really likes, and it's not a run first offense. Like when he's here, you're a run first, and then we got another coach that likes to throw it. So I think he would fit in here, but he left because I guess he wasn't sure what type. And I think Coach Fibble came in with his own quarterbacks. We got like 7 quarterbacks. And they can't switch positions.
All right.
Like we got 7 quarterbacks and they can't switch positions. So
what you thought about the Paul Chris offense? Which shout out to my guy Reem who set this interview up for me, man. He said, hey man, I got a client of mine, Ron Dayne, bro, former Wisconsin. He's been telling me about Graham Mertz all season and thought he was gonna have a decent season. He was gonna play good football at Florida despite his play at Wisconsin. What was it about the Paul Chris offense and regime that didn't work out for him, for the school and Graham?
I would say he left because this is what I'm thinking. I think he left because he didn't know the new coach or which style of offense he was going to play. So he thinking if it's going to be another running coach, I ain't got no chance. So you might as well let me get out here and go somewhere they want to throw the ball. So we just started throwing the ball this year, when coach got here. So, like our big running backs is not really being too much, and it's just maybe because of the way the offense is set up and it's more set up for smaller, running backs to get out quick and do. But we got a big back, big Braylon. So it's a little tough for him. I bet he's frustrated, but that's the type of offense that he's playing in. He just got to get used to it and start doing the little stuff that the smaller backs are doing.
Yeah, we were talking to Graham after the South Carolina game. He threw it 48 times. He said, "I'm having the most fun I've ever had playing football." And I'm thinking, like, yeah, bet you are. You used to hand the ball off 48 times a game.
That's easy. So he wouldn't 48 would be like 3 or 4 games here.
Yeah.
Good month.
You threw the ball 48 times. Where were we at? What you mean 48? Mm-hmm. So 48 games. I mean 48 passes. Yeah, that's at least 3 games, 4 games back when we was all running the ball all the time.
Ron, what's Graham like as a person? You know, I know for a lot of Gators, they've only recently seen videos of him speaking, trying to get to know him a little bit more. What's he like as an individual?
Well, I never really got to hang around him too much, but
Okay.
just being out there and watching him practice, and he seemed like the guys love him. You know, like he's down to earth, he's ready to work, he's a hard worker. I know that, and he's just getting another opportunity to be able to show what he has because he didn't get to do it while he was at Wisconsin. So it's our loss, but not sure why we lost them, but especially if we got 6 or 7 quarterbacks now. So we'd love to have him part of our 7 quarterback
He
rotation.
could be the 8th. He could be the 8th.
Hey, that'd have been great. At least we know we start throwing the ball and he'd be ready to go. 48 passes, yes, we can probably do that now for you. We can probably do that for him now.
I was talking to his high school coach, and listen, sometimes when you're the quarterback, especially in the NFL, like, listen, Tom Brady's probably not carrying somebody's pads around. His high school coach said Graham's the guy that does the little things, does the job. Nothing's too big because he's the quarterback, and I think that's probably goes into the fact of why his teammates love him. Do you see anything about that? Like, hey, Graham's going to work just like the freshman nose guard is going to work.
Yeah, and that's great for him because of the fact that that's how you get the guys to love you. You're the top of the team. You're the quarterback. You need to know what the wide receivers doing, the running backs, tight ends, especially your line. So that's way more than any other position on the field besides linebacker, middle linebacker that tells everybody what to do. So with him being able to get out there and not show like, well, I'm too good to do this. I ain't doing this today. I'm tired. And he get out there even if he's tired and still go to work. And the guys respect that and love that to death out of him probably.
How's the fans? I was like, when we got the transfer of Graham in the portal, I saw a lot of you fans was tough on him. Wisconsin fans was tough on him before the transfer, during the season, and also at the transfer. How are you guys dealing with the transition now? I know you guys are not playing traditional Wisconsin football, and I'm just curious, like how tough are the fans are on losing seasons and whatnot?
Oh man, that's I don't know because I don't think we had a losing season in a long time. So I think that they're a little tough. You got to think because of the fact that when March was playing here, the only times he was throwing the ball is like if we were like 3rd and long and 2nd and long and then he end up throwing the interception or something like that and people would just jump on him, about that because he wouldn't have the opportunity to really warm up. You hand the ball off 20 times and your first throw, it went a little high. Okay, that was my first throw and somebody picked it. So yeah, they jump on you quick out here, and with the media and him being the only one, they can focus on it and just that probably had him feeling real. He couldn't wait to get up out of here, probably because the way the media jumped on him and everybody's talking about him. I don't even think out like that.
Yeah, the media hype on him coming in. He was a highly touted quarterback, and if you just Google his name, you'll see a lot of it. Just articles saying he's going to be the second Heisman after Ron Dayne because he's just such a highly touted guy. Yeah. So there was a lot of expectations put on him going out there as well.
Well, you got to think it's tough if you see the difference. You came to a Wisconsin team that ran the ball. We barely threw the ball. Name some receivers besides receivers back in the day that I played with or a little younger than me that made it to the NFL from a Russian team,
Right.
So it's a handful, that's about it, out of receivers that came from Wisconsin. So I guess he didn't do his homework, for being such talented as he was coming out of high school to where, hey, why would I go to a running school? Like I could have went to Florida State, whoever threw the ball, so I guess he didn't realize that he was coming to a running situation and I guess they might have pumped him up and told him that he was going to be able to throw it more than he did. So he might have been mad, and the media didn't help. So he probably couldn't wait to get up out of here.
Ron, what do you think? Oh,
go ahead, Dan.
Go ahead, Nick. I defer.
We here in the media in Gainesville looked at those stats from Wisconsin and we're like, dang, 22 interceptions.
Yeah.
He looked real good in 2020 against Illinois, tore up, Lovey's defense.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was just kind of like, so we weren't nice. I don't know if we were nice to him when he first got here, but now
kid,
it's looking great.
Yeah. Called him fine.
He finally found his home. He found where he could throw the ball 48 times. Like you said, he was super excited. When he said you should ask him that question, he probably wanted to ask you, like, how do I look in these 48?
Yeah.
He's excited.
Ron, he's got 223 passing attempts this year.
Wow.
That's like 3 years of Wisconsin.
That's a good 3-year career.
Yeah.
Playing quarterback in Wisconsin.
That's 4 years at Wisconsin. Buddy.
Yeah. That's how many times Ron ran the ball by week 5,
Yeah. at least 205.
That's nuts. Ron, want to get kind of your perspective now. You're tied in, around the football program now. You played, college football, we'll say 25 years ago. What are some of the pros of playing now, or some of the cons? I mean, how much has college football changed in those 25 years from your perspective, outside of getting, NIL and getting paid and stuff like that?
Even for college and the pros, I would say that, on the quarterback, hitting the quarterback, or defensive receiver, or all the flags they throw down on normal tackles that, he was defenseless. He saw me and I hit him. So how is that? He might not have been prepared for the hit, but he wasn't defenseless. So I say the defense is getting the worst out of it. Because you can't even breathe on the quarterback. You can't even hit somebody with your helmet into their shoulder pads almost, and it slide up and hit their helmet. You're almost getting kicked out the game. So it's like, it didn't turn in like guys running up and just trying to tackle you, not coming up trying to knock you out. Like Ray Lewis, he probably been kicked out probably 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons. Easy. I'm talking about.
They would have taken all his game checks.
Yes. He would have been like, all right, I'm done football because I'm just giving y'all all this money back. Because of the fact that, just look at some of his hits. Look at Kevin Green's hits. Back in the day, all these guys that played when we were playing, man, some of these hits was like, you're like, man, that's like a weak hit right there, compared to some of the hits that we was getting back in the day. And no flags. That's almost like NBA. If you push somebody, you suspend.
Did you ever play against Sean Taylor? Did he ever hit you?
I played against him, but no, he never hit me. So.
Nobody ever hit Ron Dayne, man. Like,
that's true.
I was saying, getting run over by Ron Dayne.
We're talking about hits, and like when we talk about like old NFL hits, I remember. I mean, Sean Taylor destroyed a dang punter in the Pro Bowl. Like, hey guys, we're on vacation because we had great seasons, and Sean's like, no, the punter's not running for a first down.
Gotta think that's when they stopped going hard again at the Pro Bowl. After that, next year it was like flag football.
Yeah.
Next year now it's like sand football.
Until you get an ACL tear on that sand, then that's done.
Right. And then they switched that. So now it's just, you go to Pro Bowl just to play games now. Like, hey, the AFC against the NFC. Hey, that's it. Who's quarterback better? Who's running back and get through the gauntlet faster? Like, okay, all right. So the Pro Bowl kind of changed a lot, because of the fact that the hitting, you can't hit no more. Like this, you barely see hard hits, and then when you see hard hit, that's a flag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't imagine you playing in this league. 'Cause I do think that affects defenses, like being able to come up and tackle. Like, we give our team, our own defense, a hard time about physicality, actually coming up to smack guys. But could you imagine trying to tackle Ron Dayne in this climate of what they call? Like, it's impossible.
Because you got to think about it. You got to think, you want to get ran over by me or try to knock him out and get a flag and get kicked out. I'm gonna lose either way. Look, if I'm over, you're gonna be like, oh man, I should have did this. If you came and smashed me, they're gonna say, oh, you hit him too hard. He too big for you to fall like that. He did something helmet to helmet out the game. So he gonna lose either way on the defense, regardless of the fact. Nowadays, you smash somebody hard, like he don't see you catching the ball in the air and you get smashed, you're getting a flag for that, buddy. 100%.
Absolutely.
Every hit now, like, oh, he hit him too hard. Flag. Like, oh, yep, he got a flag on that one. You could just see the hits and just know it at home by yourself. Like, oh, that's a flag before you even throw it. That's a flag. So it's kind of hard to watch it now because it's changing so much for the offense. Though I think it is better for the offense, but quarterbacks can now play for like Tom Brady's age, right? Because you ain't getting touched.
It's all about. I mean, they'll say it's about CTE and looking out for the players, but it's all about money. The league doesn't value running backs anymore because they want to throw the ball, pass it. That gets more people to watch, gets higher ratings. Higher ratings may get more advertising dollars. I look at like being a running back now. Like, how's Ezekiel Elliott not getting paid? Like, Ezekiel Elliott is not with the Cowboys because they were like, we'll just draft someone in the 4th round and we'll use 3 different running backs who will add up to that. So like, I don't even see that the running back position is being valued the way that it used to.
Yes, like I said, I was telling somebody earlier yesterday that it's only like 2 or 3 big backs left in the league. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is like scat backs and can do everything back. So if you're a big back coming out, it's super bad for you. If you're a full back coming out, it's super bad. It's like 3, maybe 4. And it's 3 big backs. Maybe 4 at the most. Henry, Dylan. After that, it kind of start getting down with backs. So, and then when you go to fullback, now they just pulling the tight end back there. So back is losing that spot. So it's only like Miami got a fullback. I think San Fran got a fullback, and maybe like Cleveland. So it's like everybody else is tight ends or your defensive line coming in the fullback. So it's like, hey, we can get rid of one position, whole position. I guarantee you, it's a lot of teams that don't even have fullbacks on their team.
Yeah, I think I saw a stat the other day. It's less than 10. It might even be less than 5 that have an active fullback each and every week.
Yes.
Yeah. They might have them on the back end. But I mean, you guys, with the
Does Wisconsin have a fullback?
No. Well, he might come in, but we do so much single stuff now. We don't do no none of that.
Why do you think that teams moved away from that? Just the speed and space, or
they want the fast action, the quick bam bam touchdowns, moving instead of just the pound, first down, pound, first down. Nah, that's too slow. The game will go too fast. Now you can get each team scored 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. Oh, everybody gonna come to watch that game. What you mean? 3 touchdowns in the first. What? Both teams? Yes. That's gonna be a good game because everybody's scoring. So you gotta think back in the day, we just pound you. It might be 14-17 in 4th quarter, and that's games then are over because the time then flew so fast. Because
90 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Can't sell enough ads to pay the bills and keep the lights on if the games are 90 minutes.
Nope. They want the action and want people tuned to the TVs.
Ron, give me your top 3 big backs all time.
Big backs all time. I'll probably go Bus. Hayward, Iron Hayward, and probably I'll say Eddie George, but Eddie George probably be first if you consider him a big back.
Eddie George is definitely a big back.
All right, so it'll be Eddie. Well, first I'll go with Bettis Bus, and then I'll go Eddie, and then Hayward.
Can we get an honorable mention for Refrigerator Perry? I know he wasn't a running back, but come on now.
Defensive lineman.
Come on now. But when he got down there in the goal line.
Can't give it to a defense. But he did do his thing, That's what I used to say. Oh, Refrigerator Perry coming through, like, or John Riggins.
Oh yeah, John Riggins, Larry
Yeah.
Zonka for us Dolphins fans over here was a big back. A little different, but
Yeah.
Ron,
I
who are
was watching some of
your?
those. I was watching some of those in the 70s. We're talking about how different the game is. Someone would come up to like tackle Larry, and Larry's just throwing elbows at cornerbacks
Yeah.
coming at him.
Yeah. Wasn't no such thing as horse collar, none of that.
Nah.
Wasn't no.
I missed the linebacker boards that they used to have behind their neck.
You can't even block somebody that's not looking no more. You know, they getting you flags for that. You know, you throw an interception and dude coming to tackle you, just blocking and smash them, flip them. Yo, that's how the kicker got hit by Sean. It was like Sean just smashed him. Wow.
You go to jail for that now.
Yeah. Oh yes, you're definitely going to jail. You're doing a couple of days.
Yeah.
Hey, you got arrested on Sunday, which means the judge might not even be in on Monday. You might be in there till Tuesday.
And that's your off day. So that'll be the day you get off and getting out. So work on Wednesday.
That's hilarious. Hey, Ron, I appreciate you for hanging out with us, man. Got to talk with an all-time legend about some, his playing days and also some Graham Mertz, man, on one of our off days, man. Appreciate you for hanging out with us, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks. It was great.
All right,
Absolutely.
man. Have a
Thanks
good
so
one.
much, Ron. We appreciate it.
Yep. Y'all have a good
Talk to you soon.
Yep. You know it.